was Destiny 2 today on Twitter. Bungie came out and put that picture
Yeah.
up on their
After
Twitter
the
site.
other poster leaked
Yes,
from
so their poster
Michelle.
leaked last week. It's kind of a, if you see in the picture, it's the poster's kind of folded over, but it's obviously a real Destiny 2, poster art sent out to game stores or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then so Destiny got ahead of it. I bet you they were trying to hold this off until E3, you know what I mean? But once the leak happened, decided to talk about it themselves. Not
Yeah.
a surprise. We all knew Destiny 2 is coming. Obviously, this doesn't do a lot. There's
Oh.
smoke all over the ground coming up, so makes me think that shit's going down, probably on Earth. You know, uh,
Likely. Yeah.
yeah. What else can we say about Destiny? We talked a lot of Destiny. We're definitely fans of Destiny at this
Yeah,
point. That'll
for
be a
sure.
day one purchase for us. We'll
Yeah.
be rocking Destiny 2, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be. I'm hyped for it. I mean, they've had time to work on it now. I mean, Destiny obviously had its flaws, was rushed out, was lacking certain things. They've had plenty of time to work on this. They're saying there's going to be towns and stuff to explore, and I don't know. So I'm
Yeah, it's
hyped.
also the director is the guy who directed The Taken King, so that
Uh,
is good,
yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
All right. So next bit of news I had was just real briefly. There's news came out this week out of Ubisoft that the Assassin's Creed TV show is definitely in the works right now. It's brought. I don't know if it was the director, but I believe who major players in the recent Assassin's Creed movie are involved in the making of the TV show. To be honest, doesn't do a lot for me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
What network?
What's that?
Did they say what
They
network?
did not say what network. So they had said in the past that Ubisoft in general was going to work with Netflix, but they didn't come out and say that this is a next Netflix show. They just said that the TV show is coming. Um, they've also got movies in the works for Splinter Cell and The Division.
Really?
So I don't know. The Assassin's Creed, I didn't see it. It came out to terrible reviews.
Yeah.
Um, it just seems like another one of these B or C movies to try and hype games.
Yeah.
I just in especially kind of those properties like the story in the Division was terrible,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know that I'm stoked for a Division movie. What I like about the Division is the gameplay, not the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but it does kind of show that if they're using those topics, they're obviously going to push those games in the future as well. So
Yeah.
we're still playing the Division. Um, so also just wanted to touch base. Uh, one of my favorite weekly shows that I pay attention to is comes out of kind of funny games. It to me, I grew up. I don't want to say I grew up, but the past 5 6 years, I really got into podcasts and got into and listened to a whole bunch of I searched the whole internet for every video game podcast. At the time, IGN's podcast Beyond was Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty talking PlayStation,
Yeah.
and regardless, at that time I didn't even have a PlayStation, to be honest, but those guys had created such good content that I was forced to listen to it, and a couple years back, or I think been about a year now, they split off IGN, started their own company, Kind of Funny, create a lot of different content. I currently listen to the Kind of Funny Gamecast, and PS I Love You XOXO is basically what Podcast Beyond turned into for them. It has all the same segments and everything there. So, had a breakup this week, and Colin Moriarty left, and it seemed to be centered around. He made a joking text or tweet that was in bad taste on Women's Day.
Yeah.
The hashtag for Women's Day was a world without women, and basically people use that hashtag to say all the things that wouldn't be good in the world if there were no women, and so he made a joke saying, some peace and quiet, or it was something along those lines or whatnot.
Yeah.
And as it is wont to do, the internet exploded on him, and the rest of Kind of Funny came out with like an official apology, and then the next day Colin quit. So, anyways, I just wanted to touch base on it. Whether you think the joke was stupid, whether you think it was funny, I don't really care about that. I'm not going to get into the politics of womanism. Womanism is not the word even. So that's why I'm staying away. I'm staying out of this. I don't want to proclaim good or negative around it. But I do want to say that those two guys, Colin and Greg, had super awesome kind of flow with each other. Their show, Colin is very kind of methodical thinking. He's a very numbers oriented guy, whereas Greg is just the pure entertainment excitement side of that. And so the way those two meshed together was unlike anything else, really. They're way better at it than me and you are, to be honest. We're working on it, but these guys were like class act. And so just wanted to throw it out there. It's news this week, and Colin announced right afterwards that he's going to start his own podcast, basically, that's about politics and history. Again, not he was always pretty open. He's pretty right wing guy, even though I think he's a libertarian is his stance, but he was very always voted Republican, so fell towards that side of the spectrum. Anyways, that's what he moved on to. It's a shame because I really liked listening to his takes, and I won't listen to a podcast about politics. I hate politics. Right. So anyways, Kind of Funny is carrying on. There's 3 other guys who are part of Kind of Funny. So they're going to keep doing the Kind of Funny Gamecast. I don't know what's happening with PS I Love You XOXO. They have so many sponsors and whatnot. I assume that they're going to continue it, but definitely not. Just wanted to bemoan their breakup because they made the best content out there week in, week out, and I always looked forward to listening to it, and that's over.
Sucks.
Yep. Yep, sucks. So the last bit of video game news that I have for this week was I wanted to just talk a little bit of Zelda. At this point, I got Zelda 2 weeks late, and the whole world has talked about how awesome Zelda is. If you've been on the internet, if you listen to podcasts, if you watch YouTube, you know that everybody loves Zelda. So I don't want to go too crazy with this. I also don't want to do any type of story spoilers, period, but just wanted to share a thought or two of my own around it. Obviously, as I said earlier, I absolutely love it. I sent you the text since I started playing it. So I'm so busy, I work 50 plus hours a week. I've got a family with a couple kids that I try to spend time with, and then I spend every other free minute doing this and editing all the stuff and trying to promote it, and to squeeze in video games and TV and all this other stuff to stay current is a struggle. And I always talk about how it's hard for me to make time for games. So sometimes we always play on Sunday night. That's the thing we've been doing forever. In some weeks, that's all I have time for anymore. I don't even have time to, play during the week or whatnot. Since I got Zelda, I make time.
Yeah.
All that other stuff.
Yeah, there was a text he sent me. He woke up at 9 a.m. to take a piss and debated whether to go back to bed or just get up and play Zelda, and he chose.
Got up. It's been a long time since I've chosen video games over sleeping in.
Yeah.
And this game has done that for me for sure. What can I say about it? So just briefly, when I go down my list of my favorite games of all time, it is dominated by these kind of open world action games. So, for a while it was Skyrim, then it's been The Witcher. When I got my Wii U, I started playing Wind Waker. That was the first time I played Wind Waker. Really loved that. So obviously there's something about those type of games that I just enjoy. I'm more of like kind of an action RPG guy, as opposed to like a traditional RPG or whatnot. And
Yeah.
so it does kind of fall into my wheelhouse as far as that goes. That being said, it just feels so awesome. I don't even know how to. I could pick out a bunch of little things that I enjoy about it. Bottom line, when I'm playing it, it just feels awesome.
Yeah.
Everything that I'm doing is fun. And, the first thing that struck me that I talked to you about was the combat. Combat's perfect. When I go to fight, when I see a group of enemies in the out there in the horizon and I approach them, I come up with a plan, I execute on the plan. It's fun doing it, really enjoy it. The the as everything that I'm doing in the game, whether it's a main part of the story or whether it's going out and kind of exploring things, there's always like I see 3 or 4 things that, oh crap, I got to put that on the list. I got to go check that out next. I got to go check that out next. I got to go check that out next. Everything that I check out is awesome. I go
Yeah.
do it, and what I do is awesome. Uh, and then the other thing that I had talked to you about earlier is that the the lack of numbers is refreshing right now.
Yeah.
When you play these open world games and you're going through the stories and looking at your quest log versus the next main story mission, which is 4 levels above you or whatever. So knowing that you have to hunt down side missions or go do things to grind to get that up to that next level. All of that is completely missing from Zelda, completely
Yeah.
gone. You just do what you want to do. It's like it feels like a weight is lifted off my back because I'm just out there having fun,
Yeah.
exploring, doing what I want to do, and yeah, I love it, totally love it. Just want to just throw it out there to everybody that if you if it piques your interest at all, it's you got to figure it out. You got to
Yeah.
go play it. I know it sucks that it's trapped on these Nintendo consoles that have no attach rates and nobody has them because it's something special for sure.
Yeah. I need to find a way.
Yeah,
For
totally.
sure.
Definitely do.